pints are cold and the history is deep. Must mean we are in jolly old England, Squire.
That's right, the travel guys are in York next. Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Darren Parkman.
And we are the Travel Guys.
Well, here we are in one of the most visually stunning cities we've ever visited. Yes, it's York, England, me old mucka. You know what that means?
Yeah, I have a sense I'm going to find out. Coming up, we'll rummage through ancient Roman ruins beneath one of the most famous cathedrals on the planet.
We'll check out the chocolate-coated history of York.
We've been here 5 minutes. You spilled already?
I spilled a chocolate. It's a joke. Look, it's not real chocolate.
Right.
Okay? Just relax. Can we pay for these?
No. Because history likes to repeat itself, we'll go on another Jim and Darren good old-fashioned pub crawls.
Should that be Darren and Jim's old-fashioned pub crawl?
Why?
Well, I drink more than you. My name should go first.
Okay, I stand corrected. Darren and Jim's old-fashioned pub crawl.
All that and a lot more coming up, so stick around, mates. We find ourselves thirsty and in need of a solution. Jim, any ideas?
Well, my old friend and co-host, I do have a solution. How about Jim and Darren's old-fashioned pub crawl?
I like where you're going with it, and I don't want to be that guy, but how about Darren and Jim's new and improved pub crawl? I think my name should go first because I do drink way more than you. And it's not old-fashioned, it's new and improved. It's cut from today's headlines.
Today's headlines, right.
Let's start with this place behind us called the Ivy.
Looks nice.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Afternoon. No. There's a ton of history here in York, and even the pubs here have a great story. We are at the very historic Guy Fawkes Inn.
That's right, buddy. This is his birthplace pub out front, of course. Now, for you people at home that don't know of Guy Fawkes, he was part of a group that tried to blow up the House of Parliament back in the 17th century, and they kind of celebrate that every year here at a giant party.
Wow. Rather infamous. In behind the pub is kind of a very unique story. Tell us about this building behind us here.
So this building we can see here behind is the oldest part of our building. It was built in the 1400s. Now that building was Guy Fawkes' grandmother's cottage. He was born in there and raised in York.
If you've had a few too many pints, can you sleep it off back there?
Absolutely, yeah. All these rooms are available for people to come and stay. Let's go to the bar.
All right, let's go to the bar.
And here we are.
Very cozy / tiny.
It's very tiny. It's tiny.
Not bothering anybody, but this has got a great history here and some very good beers.
The beer is cold. The people are friendly. What more does one want? I ask you. I ask you, sir.
Got it.
You got it? Yeah, go blimey, mate. I agree. She is a right dolly bud. All right, later, mate. This is so cool. They still have these old British phone boxes kind of scattered around the city everywhere. Jim, isn't it kind of neat to...
Sorry, I was actually talking on my cell phone.
Oh, this call cost me £60.
Well, it was for the comedy, wasn't it?
Now I know why these are disappearing around the city.
Yeah.
A great and inexpensive way to see the city is one of these great double-decker buses. High up too, so you get to see a lot.
Check it out, another historic castle behind us.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That's Clifford Tower. Wow, just the history. As Canadians with our young country, it's just remarkable to see this kind of stuff.
Got a pretty cool McDonald's in Vancouver, though.
Over the hedge to our left is the graveyard of St George's Church, which has just one upstanding headstone in it. This is the grave of Dick Turpin, the notorious Georgian highwayman who robbed stagecoaches in the 18th century. One day the landlord's cockerel was keeping him awake, so Turpin shot it dead. It wasn't the cleverest thing to do as it got him arrested. He was brought to York for trial, where he was found guilty of the more serious crime of being a horse thief. He was taken out to the Tyburn on the Knaves Mire, where he was hanged in 1739.
I tell you what, buddy, we only need to do this for an afternoon because it's such a great walking city as well.
Just every single corner, there's a gorgeous structure. I mean, what is this behind us here? It's unbelievable. Wow.
Beautiful church.
It is. Gorgeous church.
You know what's amazing too, buddy, is how narrow these streets are. I'm amazed the buses can get through here, but you're right. Look, it's just, everything is fantastic.
You can almost
in the
touch
street.
that pub sign. Look at that right above our head here. Look at that pub sign.
Take a guess how old this is.
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say 1977.
Close.
74.
Close, but you're way off. Try 1798.
Oh, that's like 200,
No, it's right.
200 something years
Don't do
old.
the math, actually.
Somebody got a calculator?
And some of the interior in here hasn't really been touched since 1903.
It's got a very cool look to it, though. It's very rustic and
Cozy tiny.
Just a quick question for you, though. What's going on with this here?
I'm pacing myself because I'm not drinking my feelings like you.
Now I know why they called you a half pint. In high school, you're drinking half a pint.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a full pint right here,
Yeah,
see?
well,
Okay, all right.
Blue Bell.
Well, now we're walking through another very cool area of York. It's got a very cool name as well.
It does, buddy. It's called Shambles.
And I can relate to that because for many years, my life's been in shambles.
Oh, no, you didn't.
You find that
That's
funny?
Fantastic. Seriously, though,
Yeah.
it comes from the word shammel, which means benches where they used to put the meat.
So this was one giant market
You
back
got
in the
it.
days.
And your life is not a shambles. Don't say that.
Well, another very cool thing about the Shambles area of York is these little tiny narrow alleyways, and they've got a real funny name. They're called, I think, Snickleways.
Snickleways.
Yeah, Snickleways.
Gosh, so old.
It's a little claustrophobic in here, isn't it? Enough room for basically one person to walk through these alleys. Wow, I gotta say, walking through the Shambles is really a step back in time. Look at these cobblestone streets. They're so narrow.
Yeah, the buildings, the way they stick out, this could be a movie set. Like, this could be like a Harry Potter movie.
It's got that look, doesn't it? Yeah. Hello, Paige.
What's your name?
My name's Darren, actually, yeah.
Nice to meet you, Darren.
Paige, what do you think is the coolest thing about York?
Ooh, I think all the little higgledy-piggledy streets. It kind of looks like a film set, I think.
I'm sorry, all the what streets?
Higgledy-piggledy. That means they're very small and narrow and they've got nice little cobbles on the floor. That's probably...
The best thing about York is the architecture. I mean, because it's so old, you've got about 2,000 years of different styles. You've got Georgian, medieval, Gothic. Guy Fawkes was born there.
Yeah.
There's just so much history. It's beautiful. So you go down the street and you've got like there's a street, I think it's Petergate back there, and you've got like maybe 10, 12 different styles of houses sort of next to each other. You've got a 13th century row of houses still standing. Then next door you'll have like a Georgian house, and next door you'll have like a 15th century house, timber framed house. So you've got loads of different styles sort of right next to each other. Higgledy-piggledy.
It's got a nice ring to it. It really does.
It certainly does.
I'll tell you, buddy, if great architecture and great history is your thing, York is a must-see.
And it really is a long history. Way back in 71 AD, 5,000 Roman soldiers marched here from Lincoln. Today, about 200,000 people reside here and hardly any Roman soldiers. See, because...
I love what you did there.
Oh, that's a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
One of the first things you notice when you arrive in York is that it is a true walled city. It has a fortress surrounding it.
And like everything else, it's amazing because everything goes back to Roman times. Like this area right here is the Western Gate, and get this, rebuilt in 300 AD.
When was it first built then?
Way before that. It's amazing.
It's mind-boggling
It
how
is.
old some of these structures are. Right smack dab in the middle of York sits an unbelievably impressive structure known as York Minster Cathedral.
Buddy, we have seen a lot
Wow.
of churches and cathedrals in the years we've been doing this show. This is just unbelievable when you come up close to it.
It reminds me of Westminster Abbey in London, almost more impressive though. It's unbelievable.
And did you know, in the UK, you can't be known as a city unless you have one of these.
I did not know that, but I
If
do
you
now.
don't, if you don't, you're a town. Because York is actually a smaller town, but it's known as a city because it's got this. Well, buddy, now we're inside this fantastic structure, and if you look around this area, you're looking at 1,000 years, over 1,000 years of architectural history.
And what's cool is there's another 1,000 years of architectural history just beneath the cathedral because they're excavating Roman ruins down there. Let's go check that out.
Yeah.
This wall in front of us is actually part of a Roman basilica. It was here like 1,000 years, I guess, before the cathedral. Incredible. There's tons of Roman ruins just underneath this cathedral.
This is dating around like 300 AD.
I guess there's a drainage system down here. Just amazing. Look at the columns, the excavated columns over here. Wow.
Wow, buddy, again, the age of some of these artifacts. These are Roman columns from around 211 AD.
It's incredible. They're like 2,000 years old. Everywhere in Europe, there's Roman excavations.
Yeah, there really is, yeah.
It's incredible. Even under a giant cathedral here in York.
Okay, my friend, where are we now on this wonderful pub crawl?
Well, we're at the Ye Olde Starry Inn, which is quite an old place. Established, I think it's the oldest established inn in York.
That's right,
Yeah.
Want to know what year? 1644.
It's quite a long time ago, isn't it?
Quite a long time ago.
I mean, I've had a few here on this pub crawl, but even I know that's quite a long time ago.
I'm having basically cheesecake, but you're having something very British, yes?
Called a treacle tart.
Yeah.
Apparently a British staple, according to our production assistant, Neil Swithin-Jones.
Who is also British.
Well, he's got his name's Swithin-Jones. I mean,
Jeez,
do the math.
Anybody else?
There he is over there. But it's actually very good, and Neil tells me that he used to eat this out of a tin when he was a kid.
Oh, goodness. All right, well.
One thing you notice when you come to York is that chocolate and the making of chocolate is a very big deal here.
That's right, pal. It's so big, they actually have a store that showcases the history of chocolate here in York. It's right behind us.
Let's go check it out. Well, now we're inside and the smell of chocolate is wafting everywhere. And who doesn't love chocolate? I know I do. We're here with chocolatier Nick Thomas. And Nick, this city is famous for a lot of things, but it's very famous for chocolate, isn't it?
Yes, York's nickname is the Chocolate City, so it's the home of many iconic brands such as Kit Kat, Smarties, Aero, Polo, are all developed here in the city by Rowntrees and Terry's.
And so basically the place we're at right now is kind of a celebration, a showcase of everything chocolate from York.
So it's an attraction dedicated to the history of chocolate here in York. So we tell the story of how chocolate arrived in the city and how the industry expanded from a few select families.
And quality-wise, you can't get better quality than York chocolate, can you?
Yeah, so we use very high quality chocolate. It harks back to the early days of the industry, using pretty expensive chocolate. Chocolate was a luxury back in the 19th century.
And we know how to eat chocolate in copious quantities, but we don't know how to make chocolate. Why don't we get a little demonstration on how it's made, and then let's eat some.
Yeah, cool.
Or lunch. And let that out. Perfect.
So I'm going to pipe some chocolate onto the bag like so.
Hello.
And then guys, if you take the edge of the bag and just give it a little bit of a wobble from side to side, and that will spread the chocolate out. Perfect.
Oh, that's liquid gold right there.
There we go.
That is liquid gold.
And then if you take a lolly stick from the pot and just lay it flat in over the top, about halfway up, like a lolly.
Oh, I see.
So yeah.
Look at that.
Then give your lolly a bit of the stick a
Bit of a twist, yeah.
And then you can use spoons to decorate. So we've got some lovely strawberry flavoured chocolate, we've got some dark sprinkles and some dark chocolate buttons.
Let's go big here. Here we go. Oh,
Got to get it on the.
you got to get it on the actual. Okay, I didn't realize that. A tasty treat that's fun to eat. That's what this is.
What's this middle one here?
It's like a dark sprinkle.
Okay.
So it's like a dark chocolate with a.
I'm not a big dark chocolate fan.
You're not a big dark chocolate.
I love the milk chocolate though.
Again, you gotta just. What are you doing?
You know what? Just look after your own lolly, okay? I'll look after my lolly. You look after your
for every
lolly.
time someone has said that to me.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, these will have to go in the fridge to set for a couple of minutes, and then they are good to eat.
Well, I just got the lollies out of the fridge. They've set now, and
Wow.
I just got the final tally from the judges. I'm first prize. You're second prize.
What worst?
Those look good though. Oh, look at that! Look at that delicious lolly. Ready to try it? Oh, it's a tasty treat.
You know what? You can really actually taste the difference in the chocolate.
It's very rich. Very rich.
Really good.
Oh, it's good.
No, don't eat it all. That's it. Just slow down.
Not before I have my supper.
They make 3.5 million Kit Kats a day in York.
Well, even the entertainment here in York has an amazing history.
And what's really amazing, like a lot of this city, is that you go downstairs below the costume department, and below that was a Roman hospital from centuries ago.
Those Romans were everywhere, weren't they?
They really were.
All over Europe.
Isn't this amazing theater, though? You just look
It's
at the
beautiful.
artwork.
Look at the balconies
Yeah.
and the gold leafing and just the fancy ornate look of the whole theater. It's very cool.
Setting up another production.
So York Theatre Royal has been on this site since 1744. This theatre company really has been extant since the 1720s when it was founded on a tennis court just around the corner. And then the Georgians built a theatre here in 1744. And then the theatre you can see around me today was a kind of Victorian 19th century expansion of that. The building has medieval elements, 18th century elements, 19th century elements, and a kind of landmark modernist foyer here as well. But we're a really busy contemporary produced producing theatre, and we're really proud of that. So there's a year-round programme of extraordinary theatrical events.
All of our 20s brogues that we love going out, our 70s stuff, the tranny shoe shell. It's one of our Henry VIII's. That green coat goes out as Fagin. From
pantomime to classic drama to dance and opera and musicals, and so we think we're sort of the beating heart of York's cultural scene.
Well, we wrap up Jim and it should be Darren and Jim's
Thank you.
new and
Thank you.
improved pub crawl here at a very cool place called the Old White Swan, and we actually have big boy drinks now.
We got the full pints now. It took us a while, but I'm thinking this thing through. What exactly is new or improved about the pub crawl?
I thought you knew. I actually started way back when saying old-fashioned pub crawl.
Well, I guess it's improved because we're drinking more now. I mean, that's an improvement.
Yes. Well, here's
cheers, buddy.
Wonderful.
It's been a great pub crawl.
Pub crawl here in York.
I'm having trouble formulating thoughts, but it's been fun. Well, we've had a smashing time here in Yorkshire, but it's time to say ta-ta, cheerio, and toodle pip.
For those of you that don't speak English, we'll just simply say bye-bye. But before we do, let's check out Jim and Aaron's top 5 coolest things about the city of York.
Number 5.
Enjoying a frosty cold pint at the historic Guy Fawkes Inn. Cheers. Number 4.
It's got to be enjoying delicious chocolate that we actually made here at the York Chocolate Story. Well, yours is gone. What happened? You're eating it slow or no?
That's so good.
Number 3.
It's got to be checking out the history of York double-decker style.
I've heard that phrase before.
I used the same phrase in Glasgow in the other show.
Right.
Number 3.
Seeing the history of Glasgow double-decker style. You ever watch The Travel Guys?
I gave up on it a long time ago. I don't like either one of the hosts, so.
Well, one of them's a bit weak. I'm not going to say who.
Number 2.
Checking out the amazing history inside and beneath the spectacular York Minster Cathedral.
And the number 1 coolest thing about our trip to York.
Embarking on Darren and Jim's new and improved York pub crawl. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay.
Doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. I stopped making sense hours ago.
We'll see you next time on The Travel Guys.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Post-production services by First Anniversary Pictures.
While in York, the Travel Guy stayed at the Doubletree by Hilton. And in London, the Caesar Hotel. The Caesar, with compliments.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be on it. I don't know what it is. Well, give my regards to the Canadian Pacific. Do you remember Canadian Pacific?
That was your nickname in high school, wasn't it? Kit Kat?
Kit Kat, yes. Yeah, just again, I had a lot of nicknames.
They still call you that, don't they? Kit Kat?